Want to roll over? Oh yeah. Just a sunny day. Okay, here I am. I'm going to show you how I have modified my Zpacks Duplex Tent with the flex pole options and how I set it up. So first of all, it's in a stuff sack right here. The flex poles are in this stuff sack, and I leave them attached to the apexes of the tent. So if we take a look here, here they are. They're held in place, as I'll show in a close-up, with 4 caps of a big pin. These are modified caps. So I get the flex poles out, get them all connected together. I have magnets here to hold the 2 ends. I pull them apart like this. And now what I want to do here is I want to cross over 2 of the flex poles on one side, make an X like that. I want to have 2 X flex poles sticking out. Notice they're still stuck here. So then I can put these out, and I can just push the tent over like that. I have the 2 X's like this. The ones that were out now get crossed over to match the ones that are have been X'd and on the bottom. So now I have my tent held there like that. I have the corner guy lines here. They are held together by magnets as well. So I can just separate them easily by pulling the magnets apart. And now I look. I put one corner there, the other corner there, go to the opposite corners. I put one corner there, and the last corner here. So I want to make sure these are tensioned more or less correctly. Normally they would be packed away tensioned, but I see that this one wasn't tensioned, or got loose in the bag. So now I can pick up the tent and lay it out exactly where I need it to go. So it's basically a clamshell at this point, and I will put that there, and I'm going to show you perhaps up close how I do the toggles for the cross part of the flex poles that match in the middle here. So I pull this out. I generally wrap the toggle guy lines over, put it like this, and now I can pick the tent up, move it around anywhere I want to get it exactly where I want it to be. So once it's where I want it to be, I will now stake out either the ridge line or the side guide line. It doesn't matter which one goes first. So we'll do this ridge line first, put a tent stake through there, and I forgot to take this line off, but that's okay. Take it off now, and jam that into the ground. Use another tent stake to help press it into the ground. Go around to the back, do the other ridge line. And at this point, you know, if it's raining or something else, you know, the tent is not getting wet. I may still be getting wet. Notice I put this, the poles are still at the right height. Shake this out where I want it to be. There. Any other adjustments I want to make? Now pull out the side guy line. Push it in with another tent stake. and the last guy line is on this side. I don't have to stake out the corners unless it's high winds, which I sometimes do. For instance, I could put this stake here or this stake there. So that's the tent set up. If you look at it here, it's a pretty solid pitch. Everything is taut. It's windproof because of the tent poles that are holding up the apexes. If I didn't use those, if I didn't have trekking poles, I would still recommend something such as the carbon fiber 4-foot poles that Zpacks sells. But there's the tent inside here. Well, I didn't actually tighten that up. If I wanted to have a wider door with the option here, I could actually I could put the tent pole in at an angle, or the trekking pole with an adjustable length, get in at an angle. So, and then line this up and so on. So that's how this Zpacks tent is set up in just a few minutes, probably under 5 minutes. Okay, you ask, well, you've set it up in 5 minutes. How much time does it take to take it down and pack it up? Well, let's just do that here. So I take the apex stake out, I pull this up into the shampoo bottle, wrap the excess around, put it through the notch so it doesn't become undone. Take this tent stake out, undo the toggle from the side, take the back tent stake out from the ridge line, do the same thing with the shampoo bottle back here. In this case, I'm actually going to take the tent pole out. It's a trekking pole. Save the stake. I can either take the stake out first or undo the toggle. So now I have the tent detached from the ground. I can lift up the sides. If the tent is dirty on the bottom, I can just rub the two sides together, get into it, whatever. Now I have tilt the tent over, put it in the view here, put it together as a clamshell, and the magnets hold things together here. So these two magnets are attached. Hold this together, bring the poles that were crossed, uncross them and bring them to the outside. Take the poles on this side, uncross them. Hold the two guy wires together, bring them to the outside, and now I can actually fold the tent in half using the poles as an extra hand on that side. So here I've got the poles, the tent folded in half. I'd like to actually have all the poles on the outside of the tent before I roll it up. So I'll do that, but first I'll put this ground sheet out. One of the reasons you pack it up, the tent up, is so that it doesn't get damaged by abrasion and so on. So I will take that out, and now I'll fold this over like this. Put my tent on here, and there's a couple of ways I can now fold this up. I can either bring this like this, which is not a bad idea because now the magnets can stick everything together here. I have magnets and that holds those together. And I just need to create, since the tent poles have 18-inch segments, I need to create an 18-inch swath. So I can bring this up by a little bit, and the first section is there. So let's fold the poles up. And I can basically begin rolling. The tip I'll give you is that these ends of the pole can be sharp, and so I'm going to put this in the tent stake bag, and at the bottom of this tent stake bag I actually have a cut off 700 millimeter plastic life water bottle bottom, and that protects that. So now I can just roll this up. The tent is, and I rolled it on the ground cloth, so I'm not rolling it on rocks. It goes into a stuff sack, closes up, and I'm done. And in fact, into the stuff sack I could put the rain kilt. I could take my tent stakes. I have a separate tent bag for them, and I'm all set. So there you go.